I know that you've done a lot of work in your community, in the community of Westlake, and in your role at work. So maybe you can just start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and about your family, and then tell me a little bit more about what you've been doing.
Okay.
Actually, can I just pause you quickly? I'm hoping that sound will go away. There we go. Okay. You can carry on.
Okay, all right. Let me start with my family. I'm married with an extended family of 6 siblings.
Wow.
And I'm newly married now.
Newly married, I saw that. Congratulations.
So lockdown wedding.
Lockdown wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am married, and I have siblings as well.
Okay.
And well, I have a good family. Let me put it in a nutshell. We're a good family, loving each other, caring, and very good supporting systems in place.
Okay.
Regarding my work as a station commander here at Kirstenhof Police Station for almost now 15 years. Being a station commander for almost 20 years altogether.
Wow.
Coming from the Strandfontein community, and I was appointed here in Kirstenhof on the 1st of April 2007.
Sure.
And by working in the community, I found it very good. It's a great pleasure for me being a station commander, facing the challenges, being a woman in the South African Police Services. I have a staff. At the time I had a staff over 100 people, and currently we now 80 people in the police station. That includes our detectives as well. We have a very strong neighborhood watch in this Constantia Valley, with our neighbors as Diep River and Muizenberg Police Station. Also, obviously, Wynberg on the other side of Constantia. Our police area is divided into 4 small sectors to make it manageable for our sector commanders to work close with the community, listening to their concerns, working together with them, having meetings and joint operations to address the concerns raised at those interactions with the community.
Okay.
In terms of being a station commander, it is a challenge, but I always believe that as a station commander, you can't do it without God, because the challenges is huge. So my strong base is bound on my spiritual ground, being grounded in God's word, and know that my strength comes from Him. So I have to put my trust in God, and the way I'm dealing with my police, the members here, and the community is always starting off with a prayer, trusting God to address the challenges, because you can't address or work in the community, in my view, if you don't have God and a strong Christian background and support from your spiritual leaders and your neighborhood to support you. Otherwise, will fail.
Yeah.
If you are not grounded and strong in your faith in the marketplace.
How have you found? What has been the biggest thing that you've sort of leaned on as in your role as station commander and in your work in the community, in terms of being, like you mentioned, it's hard to, or you can't do it without Jesus. How have you practically worked that out in your role? What are some of are there any particular projects that you've undertaken, or is there anything that you can tell us a little bit more about in that sense?
Okay, in terms of that, what we've done, let me use the Westlake community as an example. I've seen we need to start from the bottom to find out what is the concerns of the people, the challenges that they are facing, the hardships. And when you know what their needs are, then you put up, I put up measures in place to address those basic needs, and also in terms of educating your community. Because if you don't know what their problems are, it will be so difficult for you to address those problems and to relate to the hardships that they endure on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So we have put some projects in place to address, especially the concern there is the domestic violence, abuse of women
Yeah.
and children, and also sometimes men being abused by the partners.
Sure.
So that is the biggest challenge. Now, be able to address domestic violence, you as a leader or community person, you must be able to know where your strength comes from, because you're going to deal with issues and concerns of people that hurt them and makes them feel vulnerable, and you must be able to create that safe net
Yeah.
for them to come in a safe space and be able to talk. Out of that, I started off with a Center for Abused Women and Children.
Okay.
I'm wearing two caps.
Wow. How have you?
And we all,
Sorry, carry on.
what we've done with that, we have community projects in place. We call it social crime prevention projects. There we work hand in hand with the sector.
Oh, you've just been muted, June. I think your phone is muted.
With a feeding scheme as well.
Okay.
There is where we give the woman counseling, and we also give them the options to decide which way would be best for them to make a decision what to do in the situation.
Okay. How have you found your support in these projects as as a woman? Have you felt supported by your fellow women colleagues and also the men that you lead? How has the support and the relationship been in that?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. They always supporting me in the projects because they can see the project that I have up there is helping them to bring the crime down.
Yeah.
The more women I and my group teach how to deal with domestic violence cases, what to do, that help the local police station in sitting with less cases, because now it's less cases reported because the woman has been taught how to deal with domestic violence, what to do in the situation, because many women don't know what is their rights, what to do in a situation of domestic violence, or where they can get help from. So we teach them where they can go to, we counsel them to find themselves, we give them clothing, we give them food, and we also give them the options by which way they can follow. Because the counseling is just at that point in time, just to let them feel safe and at ease and be able to talk.
Yeah.
And then we take it from there, the way forward.
Do you find, especially now during lockdown, how have you found the women's responses, like the women in the community? Do you find that they are more willing to talk about, having had violence against them? Do you find that they are shying away because, now they're trapped inside with their partners? What has your experience been?
Okay, in our situation currently, we didn't experience an increase in the domestic violence during the lockdown, because these women has been empowered. They know exactly where to go, what to do in a situation. If they know that they can call a number, they call, they do that, because we taught them how and what to do in a domestic violence situation.
Sure.
The hardships that they endured during the lockdown was obviously a lack of income, lack of food, that kind of thing. But in terms of domestic violence, I must say that I think the women have learned over the years how to deal with the domestic violence and where they can get help from. and they can also with the counselors. It's an ongoing program.
Okay.
The counseling is not just a one-day thing. If out of that first session we find out that's ongoing, then you get your date for your following up meeting with counseling session with your counselor.
Sure. Do you have a particular group of counselors that you use, or is this perhaps an opportunity where people can get involved if they, wanting to support women, and especially, projects where people are helping other ladies? Is it something that people can get involved in, or is it quite a closed sort of counseling network?
No, it's not a close counseling network. They can also get involved because we use our counselors at the police station, also have counselors
Okay.
at assisting our community. And we also have counselors in the Westlake community. So as a network, we help each other. The network is there to help each other in terms of the ongoing counseling, because there is counselors in the community that want to give something back to the community.
Yeah.
So that is why we have a group of counselors at the local police station. And we as an organization also have women counselors trained in the community of Westlake as well, to assist those vulnerable women in the community and assist with the feeding project as well.
Wow, that's super encouraging. I think a lot of the news that we've been hearing now, especially around Women's Month, it's a talk about the increase in gender-based violence. And I think as much as that may be the case in certain areas, I think it's so encouraging to hear that in your sphere and your sector, it's actually gone down based on the empowering and the tools that you've given the ladies in the community. So sure, that's super amazing. What would you, if you had to say, what would you wish that others knew about serving God and serving your community, being on mission for God, so to speak? What do you wish that others who perhaps are not necessarily on mission with God, living out their heavenly citizenship, what is one thing that you wish that they knew?
Oh, yeah. My wish for the woman is to get involved. I believe roll up the sleeves, do inquiry because what I found, some of the women have the skill, but they don't know where to knock to offer their help. And especially women that is on retirement, sitting at home, have basically nothing to do, or they don't know how to spend the time or to make a meaningful contribution. If they can just reach out, they can come to the local police station and they can do inquiry, because we have all the information about NGOs and who is working in the community, and we can link them up with those people. And that is my wish, that women, especially vulnerable women, to teach more of them, because it's helping.
Yeah.
It makes life so much easier. And one woman told me on the 16 days when we have our outreach, she was drinking heavily. And we use her now as an example to other women that is in this drinking. Drinking, I think they can drink their problems away.
Yeah.
She is now empowered to encourage other women to also become good women.
Wow.
And she also gave God a chance in her life. And she's one of the women that's going to speak on the 15th of August, when we're going to have our Women's Day outreach.
Okay.
She's one of those women who want to speak at the event. And yeah, we put a program together for the 15th. We're going to draw about 30 women together, and 3 of them, but this specific woman is so empowered, and she wants to speak that day at our event.
Wow,
to encourage other women.
Yeah, that's amazing. So often we think, well, what difference is my 2 hours going to mean to anybody? But I think just what you said now, a difference can be made. And whether it's in one person's life, you can see how the ripple effect happens. So sure. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time, June. I'm sure that we will put together kind of a list of people that you can get in touch with. Like you said, just inquire, find out where you can put your hand up, where you can serve. And so we'll definitely, hopefully, be able to link you with some people to add to your woman power. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing in the community and for giving me this time with you.